Hey folks, want to come on here and do a bit of a solo effort on Leinster Rugby. For those of you who don't know what it is, that's absolutely no problem. We'll get into it. There's listeners from all around the world. I think the creators wrap came out 1 or 2 weeks ago, and I mentioned it on the last episode 47 about Dublin City. Top 5 countries of the USA, Australia, Canada, UK and Ireland. So we'll get into it a bit. There's people listening all around the world though. So, one sec. The most popular episode was the Damien Brown, the number one, the first show, which came out on the 9th of July this year. So feel free to go back and have a listen. Damien talks a bit about his time at Leinster Rugby, winning the Champions Cup, now previous known as the H Cup with in France and the Heineken Cup. You have number 8, Professor John Ryan, which talks about a bit of, I suppose, a bit more in detail about the behind the scenes of Leinster Rugby. You can go check it out. Doctor there. And yeah, you've Leinster Schools featured. You sort of have Clongowes College Wood featuring the podcast, Jamie a bit. Brian Kingston, number 6. Blackrock College. Professor John Ryan, kind of St. Michael's. Colin Judge, St. Michael's. Matty Dixon was rugby. '22 rugby. Ryan discusses his passion for rugby, highlighting upcoming matches between Ireland and South Africa. He delves into the basics of rugby, its history, differences between rugby union and rugby league. Ryan shares his personal experience with the sport, emphasising the culture of respect within the rugby compared to other sports. He concludes with thoughts on the future of rugby and invites feedback from listeners. What else do we have here? Talk a bit about Ireland. Number 30. Talk a bit about Dublin. Number 45. Talked about the city most recently. We mentioned 47. And yeah, if you're in the city, or if you're in Dublin, excuse me, just get a charger. It's important to note that Leinster Rugby exists, in which we'll get into it, which is a bit exciting if you're visiting from any of the countries mentioned, or even beyond. There's people in all around the world, which I think there's, we'll get into it now, just a side note. There is Germany, United Arab Emirates, Denmark, Singapore, Switzerland, Bulgaria, Hong Kong, all platforms, Indonesia, Spain, we mentioned Denmark, Netherlands, we mentioned Portugal, Luxembourg, Vietnam, Germany, France, China, Greece, Saudi Arabia, Singapore. So yeah. Got a ball as well. Leinster ball and lifestyle sports, picked it up a few weeks ago. I feel like a kid again. Or a month ago, a few months ago. It was a few weeks ago. But yeah. And got this Leinster training top that I wear. To be honest, I don't really watch the game. I don't watch the games that much. I watch the highlights, the matches, and yeah, I like wearing the gear. That was nice. The new stuff. I never thought in a million years I'd be wearing Leinster gear, but I tried some of the Castoria stuff was lovely. So I got gifted today a pair of pants. So yeah, come on and share. Or that's what it looks like. Similar to what Professor John Ryan is wearing on his show. And that show is also in the top 10 podcasts, so go check it out. I think it's number 8, so the pants. And yeah, let's get into it. A bit about Leinster Rugby. If there's any tangents, please forgive me. But yeah, it's important to note that if you're visiting, this could be, and if you're into sport, or if you're into rugby, if you're getting into rugby, this could be super exciting to maybe, especially around Christmas time, maybe there's a game on. So yeah, tickets. Let's talk a bit about Leinster Rugby. Let's go to Gemini for a sec. Leinster Rugby is one of the 4 professional provincial rugby teams in Ireland, competing in the United Rugby Championship, URC, and the Investec Champions Cup. Here are a summary of the recent activity and standings. Next match, their next feature is a big interprovincial derby competition, United Rugby Championship URC Round 7 match, Leinster Rugby versus Ulster Rugby. Date Friday, December 19th, 2025. Time 7:45 local time. Venue Aviva Stadium. Current standings 2025-2026 United Rugby Championships URC Leinster is currently ranked 6th in the overall table. So double check that. URC table, I think it says. I might have to double check sometimes. Yes, they're 6th, that's correct. They're also currently first in the Irish Conference. Interesting stuff. Twice. There are Irish conferences. Yeah, there you go. Investec Champions Cup Leinster is ranked 2nd in the pool 3 with 9 points after 2 rounds. Yeah, I think that's correct. Champions Cup pool 3. Yeah, they're 2nd behind. The Stormers are 1st, 9 points. Leinster Rugby. DHS Stormers are 1st. Leinster Rugby 2nd. Harlequins 3rd. Stade Rochelle 4th. Leinster Tigers 5th. Yeah, Arverne. I don't know how to pronounce this. Aviron Bionas. Pronunciation, excuse my French. Aveyron Bayonnais. I think that's how to pronounce it. One more time. Aveyron Bayonnais. Happy days. Recent results: December 2025 Investec Champions Cup, December 12th Leicester Tigers 15. Leinster Rugby 23 win, December 6th Leinster Rugby 45, 28 Harlequins. I'm going to chat GPT for a sec. Talk a bit about Leinster Rugby. We already mentioned that it's one of Ireland's 4 professional provincial rugby teams and one of the most successful clubs in European rugby. Basics: founded in 1879, province Leinster, Eastern Ireland, including Dublin. Home ground, Aviva Stadium, big matches, RDS Arena. Nicknamed the Boys in Blue, colours blue with gold trim. Competitions: United Rugby Championship, URC, which we mentioned, European Rugby Champions Cup, European Rugby Challenge Cup, less frequent in recent years. Honours: high level. Hopefully the lighting's okay. European Champions Cup, 4 titles: 2009, 2011, 2012, 2018. URC / provincial titles, multiple league championships, known for consistent deep runs in Europe and strong domestic dominance. Yeah, we already mentioned that one of the most successful clubs in European rugby. So, Ireland's one of Ireland's 4 professional provincial rugby teams, one of the most successful clubs in European rugby. This is ChatGPT. Talks about URC and Pro 14 titles, major league championships. Known for consistent deep runs in Europe and domestic dominance. Identity and strengths. Famous for a world-class academy setup producing many Ireland internationals. Core supplier to the Ireland national team in recent decades. Style of play: traditionally fast, skill-based and structured. Notable players past and present: Brian O'Driscoll, Johnny Sexton. Leo Cullen, now head coach. Rob Carney, James Ryan. Caelan Doris and Hugo Keenan. I think he's injured at the moment. Coaching and culture: strong emphasis on continuity, leadership and development. Often praised for tactical consistency and squad depth. There's Gary in there as well, Gary Rose. If you like, I can talk about current squad or season. They also played in Croke Park this year. Let's talk about Leinster's rivalries for a sec. Leinster's rivalry is a huge part of Irish rugby culture, and one rivalry stands clear above the rest. That is Leinster versus Munster. The big one. This is the fiercest, most famous rival in Irish rugby. Exciting times. Why it matters. Historic divide. Leinster traditionally associated with Dublin private schools and the East. Munster working class roots. Strong regional identity in Limerick and Cork. For years, Munster dominated Irish rugby. Leinster rise in the late 2000s flipped the balance. Matches often feel like Ireland trials. Many national teams facing each other. Iconic moments. The 2006 Heineken Cup semi-final, Lansdowne Road. Munster win in front of 82,000. The 2009 semi-final, Leinster knocked Munster out on the way to their first European title. URC finals and knockouts in recent seasons, often brutal, tight, emotional games. The modern edge, Leinster have generally had the upper hand in recent years, but Munster always raise their level. Even when Munster are underdogs, they're dangerous, especially in knockout rugby. Just talk about the last game. I think it was in Croke Park. Excuse me. Yeah, Munster won 31-14 in Croke Park. The reason why they're playing in Croke Park is with the RDS under redevelopment, Leinster are using the Aviva Stadium Croke Park for their home grounds. We may talk about Croke Park in another day, a bit more detail, just a bit more historical context and just the stadium and maybe the GA. So yeah, Leinster versus Munster, intense, but Leinster versus Ulster, intense, but more tactical than emotional. Strong northeast rivalry, big clashes in URC knockouts. Ulster often target Leinster physically and at the set piece. Excuse me. Leinster versus Connacht, more hostile, more provincial pride. Connacht love upsetting Leinster, especially at Dexicom Stadium, Galway. Leinster frequently rotate squads here, which fuels Connacht belief. European rivalries growing to loose. Modern European heavyweight rivalry in clashes in championship club knockouts. La Rochelle, Leinster's recent European nemesis, beating them in multiple finals/semis. Saracens, historically, big tactical battles during peak European years. What makes Leinster rivals unique? Many players are teammates with Ireland, then enemies on weekends. That's what it says. Hopefully they get on well. High standards, losing once can define a season. Games are often strategic chess matches, not emotional slugfests. In short, Munster equal emotional, historic. I've never. This keeps popping up words. I feel like I'm a kid again. Maybe I just need to eat a bit more food. Years, excuse me. I know, jeez. Maybe it's my dyslexia popping up, which I don't typically say I'm dyslexic, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's just me. And yeah, I need to eat a bit more food. Or have a snack. It's getting close to dinner time. European rivals, La Rochelle and Toulouse, Ulster/Connacht, competitive provincial battles. If you want, I can break down a specific rival match. Leinster versus Munster often results. Fan, culture and atmosphere. Let's go fan, culture and atmosphere. It's good to know. Just say the word. ChatGPT. Leinster fan culture. Leinster's fan culture, match day atmosphere is a bit different than most rugby clubs. It's grown with success, scale, and Dublin life. We talked about Dublin City, and Dublin in general. Leinster fan culture, roots and identity, historically linked with schools rugby, Blackrock, St Michael's, Gonzaga, etc. Long seen as the quiet or posh province compared to Munster. Over the last 15-20 years, success has created a much broader fan base, families, casual fans, and city supporters. Supporter style, blue jerseys everywhere, often clean, modern, and coordinated. Fans tend to be knowledgeable about tactics, less vocal week to week, but very engaged during big moments. More analysis in the pub after than singing for 80 minutes. Matchday atmosphere, RDS Arena, home base, which is being renovated. Capacity was 18,500, intimate, close to the pitch. Atmosphere depends heavily on opposition, stakes, URC versus Europe. Big moments, loud, sharp roar rather than constant noise. Best nights are Munster games, European knockouts, Friday night fixture under lights, Aviva Stadium used for big European games. Inner pros with high demand can feel flat for small crowds but electric when full. Huge Leinster flags. Blue smoke, big match buzz. I'm over 15 minutes just there. Keeps going for a bit more. Big match buzz. Crowd often includes corporate supporters, casual sports fans, families. Songs, chants, and traditions. Not a heavy singing culture compared to Munster or French clubs. Common chants. Leinster. Leinster, exclamation mark. Leinster, exclamation mark. Maybe I'll give an example. Big roar on turnover ball or line breaks. Molly Malone sometimes heard late in big wins. Applause for smart rugby moments, set piece steals, tactical kicks. Big game, transition. This is where Leinster fans surprise people, knock out European games. Crowd intensely jumps massively. Defensive sets near the line get real noise. Munster visits, tension, you can feel it even before kickoff. The Aviva can become intimidating. 45 to 50k are invested. How other fans see Leinster supporters? Criticism, quiet unless winning, too corporate, reality, large, diverse fan base, high expectations, fans react more to quality than just effort, used to success, so standards are ruthless. In short, Leinster's atmosphere, if you want to bring families, if you want to bring kids, or if you want to bring someone or a tourist this sort of Christmas, so Merry Christmas. The Leinster atmosphere, supple rather than constant, and this isn't an advertisement or anything, deadly serious on big nights, built around expectation. I don't go to the games every week, by the way, I haven't been in a while, I'm just saying. Built around expectation and excellence, not underdog energy. When Leinster are in Europe, semi or final, the Aviva becomes one of the toughest places to play in Europe, even if it doesn't always sound that way on TV. And yeah, let's, one thing, when is the next Leinster game? This Christmas. If you're overseas, could go to get tickets as well. I'm not sure, you probably can get them online, pretty straightforward. See what it says. Friday 19th of December 2025, Leinster versus Ulster. The United Rugby Championship kickoff, 7:45 Irish time. It'll be, I think, GMT. We'll just say Irish time, what it says here. Aviva Stadium, Dublin. This is Leinster's last game before Christmas week. A big inter-provincial clash in the URC. Saturday 27th December 2025, Munster versus Leinster. That's what we were talking about, the big provincial game. United Rugby Championship kickoff, 19:45 or 7:45 Irish time. Thomond Park, Limerick. This is Leinster's Christmas derby, which match their first URC meeting with Munster during the festive period. So the next game before Christmas, Friday 19th December 25, Leinster versus Ulster URC. If you want tickets on TV streaming, ticket things. Sound like a big Leinster fan, or yeah, but it's good fun coming to Christmas anyway if you're in Dublin. There's other sports around, but yeah, there's Premier Sports, TG4 tickets, Ticketmaster. You can get Leinster versus Ulster coming up, and yeah, I'm not sure about Leinster versus Munster. That could be interesting if you can get tickets. But yeah, so I want to shoot a quick podcast. It's 18 minutes. There's so much more we can go into. Maybe we'll get some players or people involved in Leinster Rugby come on in the future. More about rugby. And yeah, the one thing I suppose take away is there's some exciting games coming up. Leinster versus Ulster on the 19th of December, and then Leinster versus Munster on the 27th of December. So super interesting. If you want to go to the game, you can check out the tickets online. Again, I'm not affiliated. Anyway, just thought I'd mention it, and have a wonderful evening.